So we got the Lauf Elja. It's an Icelandic cross-country road bike, down-country brand. So there's a lot of firsts on this bike for me. We got electronic RockShox rear and front. Never rode electronic suspension. Never rode a single pivot bike. So the bike is 26.5 pounds and this many kilograms. Never rode down-country, cross-country stuff. And I'm gonna Google if you're supposed to put clothes on over these bibs or you're supposed to go like this. So I got the Enduro bike just in case the cross-country bike doesn't last. So we're going to the bike park. We're going to historic Timberline Lodge located in Oregon, Pacific Northwest, right here on the map. It's a pretty mellow bike park, but I'm pretty excited to ride this electronic suspension and experience the downcountry life. So we'll check in with some nice views in about 1 hour. There it is. So obviously it's a cross-country, down-country, light-duty bike that's not designed to do 10,000 feet, 3,000 meters downhill, but we're gonna see how it goes today. But one interesting note, I'm trying to do the full XC costume, and it's just substantially less gear. Helmet, shoes, pair of shorts, people are staring at me. And then check out my Enduro gear for later on in the day. It's a massive bag of pads and goggles and a mess of different style of knee pads. So first of all, this is definitely a more accessible version of mountain biking. And it's freezing cold, so if you need an Otter hoodie, they're linked in the description.
Is that for you, boss?
Hey, Johnny, we're going XC. So this is pretty much the gnarliest trail here. It's not super gnarly, but it is pretty cratered. I can hear the rims. Probably should put some air in them, but this bike is really spicing up these trails so far. Oh my gosh. Okay, last time I was here, I crashed on this jump, so not gonna be hitting it. Oh boy, the first bit of chunk. Oh my God, I'm a little scared. Oh boy. So the bike's pretty confident. Something made a violently loud noise. I thought maybe this electronic suspension would put me out of business, but it sure doesn't. So basically I almost just broke the frame because there's probably 0 tokens inside of this shock. I wouldn't put blame on the suspension or the frame set. We need proper suspension setup even with electronic suspension. It's not smart enough to control the bottom mounts quite yet. Let's carry on. Considering this bike's 120 millimeters of travel, it performs pretty good in the chunk. Did I hit it? So we got a 6-foot drop here. I don't want to break the bike on the first run. I'm pretty sure it's capable of running it, but I just want to kind of feel it out first. But no joke, this bike is actually incredibly fun. Like, I thought I was going to be terrified the whole way down. It's actually having a blast. You just have to like carve your way down the lines. It's super light. It likes flat trails. $120, $130. It's just so nimble. Like, yeah. I think this bike is gonna just kill it on the green.
Okay, cool.
And I've never really enjoyed a green trail in 5 years, so we hit enough chunk on this bike. It's not designed for that. But overall, I was super impressed. And then the most impressive thing was definitely the green trails. The bike just kind of like
quick and flowy,
just
real responsive,
super quick, drivey, like fast in the flat trails. It has like no treads on the tire, and like I didn't really have too much of a problem through there. So nice. We'll try run 2. Oh yeah, picking the line. Ooh, okay. There's a little bit of lack of traction in the front. This bike's funner on green trails. I wonder if you can adjust the rebound. Rebound.
No rebound.
Oh, it is right there. It's tooled.
Yeah, tool.
I think I have one. I think I have a tool.
I have a multi-tool.
Okay, a quick bolt check.
Okay.
Looks like it was pretty much professionally assembled, so we're gonna continue on. So just had lunch. We're going for like run 4 on the cross country bike. So I put a bunch of pads on because it's actually cold up here. And flight attendant, I honestly have not noticed it all day. Whoa! Okay, this is where the bike really starts to shine. We got flat undulating terrain and it just like moves. It literally feels better than an e-bike. All right, we got some rear brake problems after 5,000 feet of descending. They still work, they're just squeaky. Okay, so this type of terrain is where this bike just murders it. Smooth, flat, generating speed. Woo! Oh! This bike does pretty good. Oh my gosh. Today we went black, blue, and green.
Right.
And it's super interesting that the RockShox flight attendant suspension with the single pivot on the bike absorbs big hits super good. Like I had no problems going through the black trail in the first part of the day. Interestingly, in the blue trail, you know, your standard issue blue pounding flow trail, the bike was actually the worst. So the Super Deluxe, whatever it is, SID Ultimate Hydraulic Electronic, basically just has no small bump. But when you're in the big bumps, it's amazing. Exceptionally fun on green flat trails. The bike's super drivey. This is like the 4th or 5th run down, so that's 5,000 feet of elevation down. The SRAM level brakes on the rear are making a little bit of noise, a little spongy. Obviously, this is not the designed area for this mountain bike. It's a cross-country bike, but it's handling amazing, and I'm gaining more and more confidence as the day goes on it. And actually, all of its flaws I really enjoy, like riding completely smooth tires. or like they drift. And it's kind of fun. The brakes kind of suck, so you gotta, you know, more effectively use the brakes. And it's an amazing pedaler. I'm impressed with the suspension. Basically no complaints. I thought this was gonna be like not a fun day, but it's been epic. So Johnny V is not feeling good, so I'm gonna go to the car, do a couple laps on my Enduro, and just see which bike was basically funner.
Cool.
So we got a 170, 160, full 29er, score 4060, and this bike was shockingly fun today. So I know this one is 30, this one's like 36.5 pounds, so that one's 10 pounds lighter. We're gonna see which one's funner. So this is like an incredibly efficient for an enduro bike, but it feels like a wallowy pig after being on the cross-country bike. Okay, we're dropping on the enduro bike. What a different position. So this is the first trail of the day. Started out on the cross-country bike, and with the enduro, you can just like basically go straight into everything. So when I came through here on the cross-country bike, I think I walked part of that, and this is where the cross-country bike made some horrific sound. God, that's a good fork. Oh my gosh. Dude, just so you guys know, I know this is the cross-country bike at the bike park, but holy suspension goodness, DBO. Let's carry on. Okay, so obviously it'd be funner to pound out chunk with the enduro bike, but we're trying to compare one for one. So I'm gonna take the enduro bike down the green trail. Okay, this bike's slow. I mean, I'm also slow, but the bike is so slow. Oh. It doesn't steer as quick. Okay, we got the bike park day done because the old man got hurt, or is hurting.
Hurting from other injuries.
We're gonna get back to the Garage Mahal and tell you which one was the best. Hello friends, it's the Otter and we're back in the Garage Mahal. For full transparency, Lauf did send me this bike to make videos, and I was like, yes, please, please, please. I really want to make downcountry suspension videos. Absolutely thoroughly impressed with the RockShox Pike. The air spring of the RockShox being super progressive makes perfect sense on 130 millimeters of front travel. So basically I'm curious to look at some of the geometry because I didn't look at it before. Basically a 500 reach in extra large, a 65-degree head angle, and some super short chainstays. The geometry on this looks like a trail bike from 2010. So we're gonna call it Downcountry Shredder. So the suspension, Sid Lux. I don't even know the name of the rear shock. It's gonna need some serious tune-ups. Single pivot, I feel like it does the job. It's not the most spiciest rear suspension platform, but considering this bike's meant to grind out the miles, I think it does a perfectly good job. We don't have any fancy bearings to work with. The most interesting thing I found out was riding the downcountry bike for 5 laps, and then jumping on an enduro bike made me a substantially better rider. Felt like I was cheating when I got on the enduro bike. Because that bike park is incredibly pedally, this bike was hands down more fun. Absolutely dripping and shambling, but we gotta focus in on the frame. So one super highlight of this bike is actually the seat post is not super tall. So I've owned some kind of cross-country bike most of my life, and usually the seat post is super tall. This one just feels like trail bike level lowness. incredible value on the parts. After seeing all my road bike friends impressed with the brand, I'm gonna say it's a pretty good frame as well. But if you click this video here, it will be the next time I ride this or some other videos.